Secretary of State John Kerry is heading to Ukraine tonight to show support for the country at the center of the biggest U.S.-Russian face-off since the Cold War. NATO says this crisis is a threat to peace in Europe. Russian President Vladimir Putin has been sending troops across the border into Ukraine's Crimea region in continuing defiance of President Obama's warnings and threats of sanctions. The Russian forces began moving in after Ukrainian protesters ousted the pro-Moscow president of Ukraine last month. They were demanding closer ties to Western Europe. Putin said he is protecting Russian interests. Liz Palmer is covering the Russian invasion in Crimea. Liz?
Without firing a shot, the Russians are now in control of Crimea's local government as well as the roads and all the military installations. The only pockets of resistance are small groups of Ukrainian soldiers who are dug in on ships or in bases, still holding out against the Russians. Today, Ukrainian officers' wives joined their men to resist a Russian assault. They formed a human shield in front of Belbek Air Base Gate. While inside, their husbands waited nervously. A Russian officer had just delivered an ultimatum. He told us, said the colonel, to swear allegiance to Russia or leave. If the Russians attack you, will you fight? Yes, he said, we will. But no one headed for battle stations. In fact, things were strangely relaxed. Second Lieutenant Ivan.
I don't think that they will attack us, but we will defend our base as we can.
You don't want war?
Yeah.
And you think they don't want war?
I think they don't want war. I think they want territory.
Well, they've got it. The Russian army has rolled over 10,000 square miles of Crimea in a few days, including the vast port of Sebastopol, the base for Russia's warships and submarines. Crimea's pro-Russian population has welcomed the soldiers, convinced by propaganda on Russian television networks that they need protecting from their fellow Ukrainians, even though none of them have actually been attacked or even threatened. On another base we visited today, the commander had a visitor, the Russian envoy. He's the man in black. And his message, surrender. Your situation looks a little bit hopeless. You're surrounded, you haven't got nearly as many men. How do you think this can end? I don't care, he tells me. I'm staying to defend my country. A few minutes later, the Russian left. But everyone expects him to be back with reinforcements.
And Liz, what appears to be next there in Crimea?
Well, Scott, it's estimated that there are 20,000 Russian troops here, which seems plenty considering this whole territory is hardly offering any resistance. But U.S. intelligence says that troop buildup is continuing, which fuels fears that Vladimir Putin plans to extend this invasion into eastern Ukraine.
We'll wait and see. Liz, thank you very much.